friends. This is Angela Lamb here, Life Group's pastor at New Life, and I just want to talk to you about our service project that's coming up. Your Life Group has opted into the church-wide service project, which is Christmas caroling to seniors, and I just want to say thank you. You have a lot of different ways you could spend your time giving it away and being in service to others, and we have quite a few Life Groups that are doing really incredible things in our community. This one is just near and dear to my heart, and maybe that's the beauty of being the Life Group's pastor is I get to pick these ideas, and you all suckers just have to go for it. That's not true. It was voluntary, and your team opted in. But here's why it's near and dear to my heart. I grew up as a small child going Christmas caroling, and while that might feel like, well, of course, if you grew up doing that as a kid, it's not going to be that hard for you. But I'll just start by saying that the first many years that we went Christmas caroling, I pretty much cried my way all the way through it. I could not look at these senior citizens in wheelchairs and lonely, drooling, sometimes yelling because they're confused. I could not look at them and see anything other than pain. And as an adult, I'll just go ahead and start the confession. As an adult, I still find myself going Christmas caroling, and I adore it. Going Christmas caroling, but every once in a while something will hit me and I'll find myself stopping in the middle of the song, having a little cry, and then getting myself back in. The truth is, there are sad things happening in these care facilities. These nurses and doctors are doing incredible work, and I'm so glad that we have a place for our seniors to be cared for. But they need cheer, honestly. They need cheer. So you are going to see things that are going to be difficult. For those of you whose parents are at that age or whose parents are in care facilities far away, this is going to bring up memories for you. For some of you who are feeling your age, it's hard not to project forward. What would I feel like if I was sitting there? What would I feel like if this was my life? I realize that there's two ends of the spectrum when it comes to Christmas caroling, and we probably land somewhere between these two things. For some of us, we're going to be like, Christmas caroling, that's so easy. The easiest service project ever. Shouldn't even be considered service. There's that end. And then there's the end over here where we're scared. And quite honestly, we might be slightly paralyzed with fear because of all the emotions that come with this, or because we're singing in public, and we don't do that often. But we all land somewhere in here. No matter whether you find yourself at the laissez-faire side or if you find yourself over here paralyzed with fear, there are two solutions to that. One is knowing your purpose. We aren't doing service projects to go out and feel good about ourselves by doing something that is inside of our comfort zone and easy for us to do. The truth is, knowing the purpose of what we're trying to accomplish takes care of all kinds of things. If you find yourself over here like, service, to know that your purpose in this is to let God shape your heart by doing something kind for someone else. If that happens to be easy for you, it would be super easy to take God right out of the picture. So for this end of the spectrum, I would say stop and spend a little bit of time. Why are we doing what we're doing? Why am I going Christmas caroling? If it's not out of my comfort zone to sing in public, or if it's not out of my comfort zone to be with older people, what about this service project is going to shape my heart? Because for you, your service, if this is super easy for you, your service project might happen long before you actually go Christmas caroling. You might be doing service to the people at this end of the spectrum by sharing your experience or by helping them over their fears. I don't care where your service comes in, but if the purpose is for us to get out of our comfort zones in order to serve somebody else, even over here, if caroling is easy, you have something that you can do. And for the people over here who are afraid, your purpose, you're already being pushed out of your comfort zone, clearly, but keeping an eye on the reason why we are going into Christmas carol. I realize that it's just songs. I realize that they're not even all Christian songs. We might be singing Jingle Bells. We might be singing Frosty the Snowman. The reason that we're going in is because when people encountered Jesus, they felt loved. When people encountered Jesus, they felt actually like they were seen. Somebody saw them. The children felt that way. The old people felt that way. The blind beggar on the side of the road felt that way. When people encounter Jesus, they feel their value better. You are going not because you're going to overhaul the senior care facility. You are not going because you're going to change a life. The reason you're going Christmas caroling is to just give them a brief moment where they feel that way. And you might do that. The truth is, you might sing carols and that isn't the moment. It might be after the carol is done, when you're mingling throughout the room and you put your hand gently on a senior woman's hand and you just say, "Merry Christmas. I just wanted to wish you the joy of the season." Whatever it is, you have a way to take a moment and let somebody feel the value that we feel because Jesus loves us. And that you can do. That you can do outside of your comfort zone. That you can do by standing in a group of people singing a song. That you can do by patting a hand. You can do that. You are capable of it because you carry the Holy Spirit. So the last bit about purpose that I'd like to say, it doesn't matter which end of the spectrum you fall on, is don't leave God out of this service project. It would do no good for you to take your human hands in there and pat a couple of hands. That's not how people are going to experience Christ. Honest to goodness, I know we don't talk about this very much as service projects, but we should be praying our way there. If you find yourself finding this easy, you should be praying starting today, "God, how do you want to use me in this service project?" Because you might be doing your work beforehand. If you find yourself at the end here, don't leave God out. Don't just go in there and put a guard over your heart to protect yourself from that pain. Spend some time between now and the service project with God, sorting out, all right, God, how are we going to look at these old people and feel something other than pity? How are we going to go in here and realize that I'm an introverted person and I'm going to be singing in public? How are we going to do that together in such a way that you and I, God and I, are experiencing this thing, and out of that, this person is served? In some ways, Christmas caroling is the easiest thing ever, and in some ways, it's complicated, because if we were all off, well, whatever. Anyway, don't leave God out of it. Don't leave God out of it. Spend time preparing your heart. And then at the very end, I'm going to give you some tips on what you can do when you're actually in your service thing, actually physically caroling. But the last piece I would say is, golly, we've spent this fall pressing into community. Don't leave your community out of it. If you find that you are slowly imploding with fears about Christmas caroling, or if you're a life group leader who's afraid of this, my golly, it doesn't do any good to say, "I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine." Let's have fun. Let's do this experience in community. So actually share with your community, "Hey, I am totally on board with caroling. I know God has called our group to do that. Can we talk about the fact that I want to pee my pants every time I think about it? I'm that scared." Or can we talk about the fact that I'm pretty sure I might just stand in a corner crying? If that's the case, then start talking about how can we help you during that process. One, we can be praying for each other before we get there. And then two, when we get there, we can have buddy systems, especially if you're bringing your children. Hey, if I hand you my baby and I walk to the bathroom real quick, that's me saying I need to go have a little cry and I'm coming back better than ever. It's totally fine. But gosh, walk this thing in community. Share what you think your service part is going to be. Share where your comfort zone is. Share how we could be supporting each other. Do this thing in community. That would be my last piece. So as far as like the little tiny tips of going Christmas caroling successfully, the heart of the matter is you're going to share cheer. That's the heart of the matter. But the truth is there are a couple of key things that you can do to make that come across. I've already talked about preparing your heart. That's now out there. Think about it from the perspective of a senior. These people have had whole lives where they have had small children around, grandchildren, they've raised their own children, they've had pets, and none of that stuff is in this care facility. So if you have children, my word, bring them. Bring them, even if you put that baby on your hip and they are like totally distracting. The seniors love being around people who are younger. They are so grateful to see our children and their grandchildren or their great-grandchildren's age. And kids are a wonderful magnet and a buffer for this situation. So my golly, bring kids. Some you have well-behaved pets who can be sort of like a therapy dog kind of a thing, make sure to contact your facility and find out if you can bring that pet in. Some of the facilities have a pet that's there, but if they don't, gosh, sometimes they really appreciate having a dog come in. They find it very soothing. Physical contact. They are cared for by nurses, but some of these people don't have visitors and they just crave physical contact. You don't necessarily have to invade their personal bubble, but when you're talking to them, just patting their hand, patting their shoulder, rubbing their shoulder on the way by. They're craving physical contact. If you can do that in a way that is comfortable for you, they will be grateful for that. The last thing I would say is work on eye contact. I know we're going to be nervous, and I'll provide your little Christmas caroling lyrics book. But the truth is, it would be better for you to sing off key and sing the wrong lyrics, but be making eye contact. They're craving human connection, and your eye contact, and I don't mean prolonged awkward eye contact, but I do mean meaningful eye contact goes so far, whether you're singing the carols or whether you're mingling after, because it doesn't, so, I mean, I guess we bring cheer in if we just come in with some cheerful songs that they're singing along with or whatever, but I'm telling you, the few minutes that you stay after and you mingle in that crowd, wishing them Merry Christmas, introducing your children to them, telling them why you came, that you just wanted to share some cheer, complimenting them on singing along, there's a million tiny little things that you can say. Those few minutes after caroling mean the world to them. If you will bend down, if they are in a wheelchair, they cannot get out of their chair. If you will bend down while you're patting them on the hand, you're looking into their eyes. I am not joking, 3 seconds can make a huge difference. And I know it's 3 seconds of scared on our part because who knows what's going to happen after, but you're going to be okay. You're safe. In the end, you walk out of that care facility and you have a whole community that's going to debrief that situation with you. So even if your worst nightmare comes true, where they yell at you because they have dementia or they don't respond in any way, shape, or form, or I have literally had this happen, they were trying to talk to me and they couldn't tell how close I was and they were spitting all over my face. That was not my favorite. But I walked out of there sharing the love of God with them and it was delightful, spit and all. Anyway, those are a couple of my tips. Take kids, see if you can bring a dog, make physical contact, and eye contact makes all the difference in the world. I hope you have the time of your life, and I don't mean that just like, I just hope it is so fun. I know it's going to be fun. I have watched hundreds of people experience the joy of caroling. I trust that to be the case, but I hope you experience God, that your heart is shaped and that you touch the lives of somebody else while you're singing ridiculous caroling. Don't forget to bring your antlers, bells, all kinds of fun stuff. Have a good time with this. I am super grateful for your courage in sharing this experience with you. Bye-bye.